Good morning, Chatterbox. It is May 26th here, 2023. We got a new host on this show. Not you, Ant. Sorry, not you. I'm gonna host this show today. I'm guessing we got a sleepy Ryan out in Hawaii. Either that or he fell into the volcano. Do you know the name of that state park he was trying to pronounce on Instagram? Hukalili
Hukahana something.
It looks sweet, though. Wherever he's at, it looks sweet. So hopefully he is not in the volcano.
The last photo he posted, him and Steph were looking at the stars. So
yeah. Maybe they camped out there. There's no Wi-Fi. I don't know. But hey, we're all good. We brought the chatter to you here. It's a Memorial Day weekend. We're getting ready to go out and start doing some house selling this weekend, right, Ant? What do you got planned this weekend?
You know what, man? All the projects are done. Grass is cut down some limbs, some tree branches. Got stuff ready.
That grass looking good? How are your lines? Your lines straight?
You know what, man? It's kind of amazing. As I get older, certain things, you drive by the neighborhood, you're like, wow, that guy got some really nice lines. They did a really good job on that yard, So yeah, you got to keep it tight.
It's funny. I'm driving up to Chicago this afternoon, and me and my buddy that I'm going up there with, we always send pictures every time we cut our grass back and forth, see who got the better one, because we both have our tractors. So we ride our tractors, see who can cut it better.
Well, when the neighbor cuts the grass, it's like you got to cut the grass too. It's like I tell my neighbor, I'll come out some days and I'll be like, hey, guy, what are you doing? It's not grass cutting day. That's tomorrow. But then
you got to have it the same day.
Yeah, so when the neighbors on both sides cut their grass and you're the oddball out, it doesn't look too good, so you got to cut it. So yeah, grass is cut. We're ready to rock and roll for Memorial Day.
Cool. You having a cookout?
Yeah, family stopping over.
That'll be good.
Usual thing, a little bit of chaos, a little bit of fun.
That'll be all good. Nice, good stuff there. So just real quick here today, we want to talk why spot pre-approvals don't always work for the buyer, and they're not always the best situation for them. Anth, you want to go in there and start it a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So, essentially a spot pre-approval is a last-minute pre-approval. It's exactly what it is. A buyer is waiting until they find that perfect house to submit an offer, but then they need the pre-approval to be able to submit the offer to show the seller that they are a solid buyer, they're qualified, and they have their financing in place. Considering that there's multiple offers, it seems, on a lot of these properties, having that ahead of time is going to make you better prepared as a buyer when you're looking at these homes. Because that puts things in perspective of where your affordability is, where your payment is, what your closing costs are. If you don't already have a full pre-approval with numbers, you might be looking at a house that's actually out of your budget, so you want to make sure that you have that ahead of time, so you're ready for the weekend or whenever you're going to see properties with your agent. Last minute, is definitely a little touch and go, because while that pre-approval is getting done, depending on the lender, you might lose your chance.
1 second. Do we have somebody in the waiting room?
No.
He said I'm here.
Yeah, he's not there. I don't see him at the bottom.
Huh? He's not here. I don't know. I thought we were going to have a special guest here. We had him come slipping in.
Tell him to click on the link.
I could do that. But anyway, that was some good stuff that you had there. The one thing that comes across sometimes on the weekends, and it's tough to combat, is the borrower that owns a business. And to do the pre-approval for somebody that owns a business, we need their tax returns, possibly for the last 2 years of the business and personal. So that is definitely an issue when trying to do a pre-approval on a Sunday. A lot of the times, the borrower's not going to have all that stuff readily available and ready to make that, get that pre-approval done. If it's a salary borrower or hourly, something a little bit more basic with how they're paid income-wise, yes, that's no problem to get done on a weekend, and we are always more than happy to help. But when they are self-employed or they own a business, getting those tax returns from the buyer is a little bit more difficult than that. They often have trouble getting it to us more than us looking through it on those weekends.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, especially, I mean, Schedule Cs are pretty easy to grab out of tax returns, but if they're, K1s paying themselves a W-2 and we need business income as well as distribution, as well as, anything else that we might need for rental, or anything like that, it's needed because otherwise you don't have a pre-approval, unless that stuff is verified. So the last thing you want to do is do a quick pre-approval without any documentation verified and then find out after your offer got accepted that you actually don't qualify for this house.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We don't want an agent to run into that situation either. That way, you don't show a buyer house and then feel bad if they can't afford it or however it may play out. We like to have that prepared and at least talk to somebody. If they're not going to go through a full pre-approval that week before they start seeing the house on the weekends, they at least got to start the conversation so the loan officer knows what they're dealing with and can let them know that it may take more than, the typical few hours to get this done.
Yeah. Yeah. So being prepared is going to be key. If in that instance, Tom, to what you were talking about, I mean, if a client knows ahead of time, look, you're going to need, 2 years tax returns, 2 years W-2s, or 2 years 1099s, have that stuff ready when you're ready to speak to a lender, so that it's readily available for you to send so your pre-approval can be finalized. But yeah, doing a spot pre-approval, it takes a little bit of time. So you want to make sure you give yourself enough time to be able to get that completed.
Yeah, I like this. We like to be robots, but we're not robots. So we try to get it done as quickly as possible. And we're going to do everything we can because we obviously want to get the pre-approval done as well for the offer. That's the name of the game. That's a business we're in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially where rates are going up and down. You want to make sure everything's solid and in place.
Yeah.
Well,
rates looking good. Rates are looking good. Always ready for the June buying season here.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm hoping they get this debt ceiling under wraps though. So that we can see a little bit of a change.
I guess they had lunch yesterday because they keep saying they have recess today. So I don't know.
It's a long
Congress
lunch,
going on recess.
it's a long lunch. So, yeah. But yeah, you got anything else, bud?
I don't.
All right, man. Well,
Ryan, God bless.
Hopefully,
have a great day in Hawaii.
I just said to him, so enjoy the rest of the time in Hawaii, man. But
enjoy, buddy.
Other than that,
catch you next week. Have a
great Memorial Day.
See ya.
See ya, buddy.